the edge of the desert, where the heat lingers long after sunset and the breeze carries the scent of blooming mesquite, something stirs among the rocks. A shimmer of orange, a quiet rustle. You pause, thinking it might be wind, until you see the wings. This is the Monarch Buttertoad, Bufo mariposa or Anthiaca, elusive, delicate, and shaped by a logic the desert keeps to itself. The Monarch Buttertoad is a hybrid marvel of form and function. Its body is distinctly anuran, stocky and broad, with coarse glandular skin, mottled in tawny browns and umber speckles. But its most arresting features come from the Lepidoptera, a pair of expansive, monarch-patterned wings emerging from the dorsal musculature. These wings are not decorative. They are vascularized, flexible, and capable of brief, fluttering flight. Perched atop the head are two filamentous antennae, tipped with tiny golden bulbs. Their purpose is unclear, perhaps sensory, perhaps communicative. The large eyes are glossy, horizontally slit, and hold a curious sentience. The creature seems built not for any one world, but for the space in between. The Monarch Buttertoad is found only in the Soluna Basin, a semi-arid ecological cradle tucked between the Crestfall Highlands and the Saltwind Expanse. It favours transitional microhabitats, those in-between zones where desert meets scrubland or where seasonal arroyos swell and retreat. Typical shelters include the shaded undersides of prickly pear clusters, burrows shared with desert rodents, or the hollowed root systems of mesquite trees. The toad's dependence on narrow, ephemeral water systems limits its range dramatically. Climate shifts and groundwater depletion further exacerbate its tenuous hold on the land. The buttertoad is crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk. Its diet is opportunistic, consisting largely of soft-bodied insects, nectar-rich blossoms, and ripe fallen cactus fruit. With its sticky tongue and semi-prehensile forelimbs, it captures insects mid-hop or mid-hover, depending on whether it's grounded or airborne. Occasionally, it may hang beneath flowers using its back legs, lapping at pollen and moisture. These behaviors suggest a unique ecological niche, one shared with both pollinators and amphibious predators. Unlike true toads, it's been observed delicately probing blossoms, dusting its warty skin with golden pollen as it feeds. Solitary by nature, the buttertoad nonetheless exhibits occasional social encounters, particularly during the monsoon season. Communicative chirps, soft whirring trills with harmonic undertones, can be heard echoing from canyon walls at twilight. Visual displays include wing flicks, slow limb raises, and gentle head tilts. Males have been seen vibrating their antennae in what appears to be a form of courtship or challenge. When threatened, the toad will flare its wings and release a low-frequency buzz, audible at close range but unsettling in effect. In brief gatherings, small clusters may rest wing to wing beneath aloe fans, antennae twitching in unison. Breeding is timed with the desert's rarest gifts, water and warmth in tandem. When shallow pools form in sandstone hollows, the buttertoads emerge to court. Mating involves synchronized movements and antennae vibrations. Eggs are laid in clusters of pale orange pearls, anchored to water plants or driftwood. The larvae, affectionately called flutterlets, resemble ordinary tadpoles. But by their second week, small wing stubs appear behind the shoulders. The vestigial wing buds unfold slowly across their first month. By their third molt, wings reach full span. These adolescent stages are highly vulnerable to dehydration or predation. Maturity is typically reached at 1 year. The monarch buttertoad serves as both pollinator and pest regulator. Its dual role supports the intricate food web of the Soluna Basin, pollinating flowering agave and controlling populations of beetles and moth larvae. However, its numbers are dwindling. Habitat loss, declining rainfall, and pesticide drift from nearby citrus farms all threaten its survival. Light pollution has also been linked to disoriented navigation during mating flights. While small sanctuaries exist, protected under the Dust Vale Conservation Compact, their reach is limited and cross-jurisdictional enforcement remains lax. Current sightings suggest a 19% population drop over the last 12 years. There are stories, scattered like seeds across local memory. A field journal from 1812 describes a frog with candle flame wings. 20th century desert postcards sometimes featured fanciful toads with butterfly wings, dismissed as tourist bait, though some look eerily accurate. In folklore, it was said they nested in lost wells and only emerged when the stars were brightest. Today, it shows up in art and street murals across small towns of the Dust Belt. Representations of the buttertoad persist in regional youth art, suggesting intergenerational cultural interest, even in the absence of direct observation. Among communities in the Soluna region, the monarch buttertoad is often linked to periods of transition or uncertainty. Historical and contemporary accounts describe it appearing in dreams or resting on sun-warmed stone ledges near dwellings, typically during seasonal shifts. Some stories reference small gatherings at dusk, where the animals are said to sit motionless as the light fades and sing the sun below the horizon, wings partially raised, facing west. While such behaviours remain undocumented by formal study, the consistency of these reports over time suggests a lasting cultural association. The scientific record is silent, but regional memory is not. The monarch buttertoad has long confounded taxonomy. Some argue it is the result of cryptic convergent evolution, an amphibian with insect mimicry adaptations shaped by pollinator scarcity and heat regulation needs. Others suggest a deeper divergence, that Bufo mariposa aurantiaca belongs to a forgotten order of volant amphibians once widespread in prehistoric wetlands. One hypothesis proposes that its wings evolved not for flight, but for thermoregulation and visual mimicry. More fringe theories posit symbiosis with a once-living butterfly species that merged parasitically in ancient times. To date, no consensus has been reached, but interest and mystery endures. The monarch buttertoad doesn't ask for much, just enough space to survive. It doesn't fit the categories we're used to. shaped instead by the quiet overlap of forms once regarded as separate. To protect it is to protect complexity, ambiguity, and the wild creativity of nature itself. In doing so, we make room for the unanswered, for the overlooked, and for the quiet possibility that the world still holds more than we know.